What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Um, well, let's just start with this video or podcast or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, let's just start with the heading on the title: Mexicans take over cryptocurrencies. According to a newspaper here in Mexico called El Universal, aka the Universal. If you don't know what the hell I just said, um, it says that the country takes up the third place in Latin America of internet users that already have some sort of relationship with virtual um, assets. So they have a section called wallet, and basically it explains how internet purchases and remittance sending and paying for services and investment alternatives, are some of the uses that Mexicans give them more and more, give cryptocurrencies, the credit, or they use them for that. Um, and then they go into like Bitcoin and Ethereum are the coins, or the digital coins that are most popular in the country. Well, Ethereum is not a cryptocurrency; it's a crypto asset platform. You make dApps with it. That's what it was intended to be used for. Vitalik has already said it. It's not a cryptocurrency, but people seem to not get that through their damn skulls. Um, and they just keep saying that there's still some sort of like um, fear of fraud and of the unknown about virtual currencies. um, a segment of the population has already started to explore the alternatives that these assets offer. So once again, Ethereum is not a cryptocurrency; it's a crypto asset. You make crypto kitties with it, and you make dApps with it, and most of those dApps don't even work. They don't have a real use case. Most of them, um, with a few exceptions, really. Um, According to Global Digital Report, uh, that was presented at the beginning of 2019, um, by We Are Social and Hootsuite, Mexico takes the third place in Latin America with the greatest number of internet users that already have some sort of uh, relationship with cryptocurrencies under Brazil and Colombia. And remember what I said about Colombia, right? Um, According to some friends that live in the border with Colombia, Colombians are not, um, they don't have a good reputation with them. And to some extent, there's people with bad reputation everywhere. Um, but they say that Colombians are scammers and whatnot. Um, there's scammers everywhere, guys. There's scammers everywhere. So it doesn't matter, if what country they're from. There's scammers everywhere in every country. Um, so it says the study shows that say 6 out of 10 users in Mexico, internet users in Mexico, are the proud owners of some sort of or have some sort of relationship with cryptocurrencies. And of course, I am the proud owner of a good chunk of Bitcoin and a good chunk of poopy coin. And when I say poopy coins, I mean the airdrops. I get them for free. It's not like I go out and buy Ripple or Bitcoin poop version. Like the one by Fake Toshi, which I won't going to address something. I'm going to address something regarding that later on. Um, so they have a chart. Um, it's called the digital volatility, and y- you know, um, and it shows the value of Bitcoin in thousands of pesos. Um, and we're not that far off from the top. Um, so in January of 2017, it was about 20,300 pesos. Yeah, it's about 1,000 bucks back then, the beginning of January 2017. By the end or by December 2017, it was about 304,500 pesos. As we all know, that's about $19,666. And in June 2019, it's 220,700 pesos, which is um, right around 10,000, 14, $12,000, $13,000. So it all depends when they did this, right? Like it all depends when they made the chart. Yeah, apparently they made it on June the 30th, 2019. Um, Internet users that out of, you know, 10 people that operate or have some sort of relationship with cryptocurrencies in Brazil, it doesn't say if it's in the thousands, but it says 8.0. I need to know more information other than 8.0. Um, Colombia 7.0, Mexico 6.0, and the global average it's about 5.5. Um, Current actual uses in Mexico of people that bought cryptocurrencies, 26.5% are to make payments online. That's 35%. Um, as an investment vehicle, 32.5%. And by that I mean, just hodl until the value goes to the moon, as we say. 32.5%. 15.2% they want to use it to make purchases in retail outlets. Um, Planned uses of Mexican people that buy cryptocurrencies, like in a 34% thing. Um, 43%, it's 43.9% uh, online payments. 46.2% is to hodl until the price goes up, and 30.6% is to make payments in retail shops, like outlets or whatever. And the source of this was Bitso, and I want to comment on Bitso because I use Bitso, and Bitso has not been very good to me lately at all. Um, I was gonna buy some Bitcoin today, and apparently the withdrawal feature of the damn exchange is disabled. So I have money sitting on that exchange, and I really want to I really want to buy, right? I just can't. I mean, I can, I just can't withdraw it. Um, the study called the Cryptometer MX 2018 shows that 35% of Mexicans that already have cryptocurrencies use them to make payments or purchases online right after the 32% that hodl until they go up in value. I hope they're waiting for Bitcoin to go to the moon, because I don't think any of the poopy coins that these people like um, are a good investment at all, and I don't think they're going anywhere. And I know because I used to have a Spanish show in 2017, and I used to have an English show. So my channel used to be bilingual. And if you followed me since then, if you known me since then you know, right? And what all these people are asking me in the Spanish one is, what do you think about this coin? What do you think about IOTA? I don't care. I don't care, guys. I don't care. I only care about one. It's called Bitcoin. That's the only thing I care about. Like, it's the most stable. It's the most secure. Um, it's the most tested. It's with it's past the test of time. It's like 10 years old. It's not like something that came out like 2, 3 weeks ago. Um, I don't care about the other ones. I only care about one. It's Bitcoin, and I hope for their sake that they're buying Bitcoin and hauling Bitcoin and not Ethereum, because it's broken. Let's face it. CryptoKitties broke it in 2017. Um, and now they want to scrap the whole blockchain and make Ethereum again. Um, so yeah. And in par, you know, um, shows that 47% of the population in Mexico sees with distrust all these cryptocurrencies, because they don't know what the hell they're doing, right? Of course, if you live in an exchange, right, you're gonna get cyber attack. Um, and if you buy a poopy coin, you're most likely buying an exit scam, like an ICO, um, or just because they don't know what it is, or they think they're gonna lose their money. Um, to be honest, when I first heard about Bitcoin, I kind of like read a little bit. I don't know what it is. I went to weusecoins.org. I read about it, and I said, okay, I want one of these. Like, what do I sign up? Where do I buy this? All right. And then it showed me local bitcoins, but local bitcoins, of course, like the name kind of misleads you. Um, but it was like 50 cents. So, where do Mexicans use cryptocurrencies? Right. One of the platforms and exchanges for the purchase and sale of cryptocurrencies, it's Bitso, right? Um, they gave a list of at least 80 places in Mexico where you could use uh, cryptocurrencies to pay for stuff, as well as the locations of BTMs where you could exchange, your cryptocurrencies, your Bitcoin for pesos. Um, for example, uh, in the center of Tijuana, um, there's a zone, right? There's an area in Tijuana that they call it, the gastronomic zone, and they have a bunch of food trucks near the U.S. border where you could pay for your food with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and you don't have to exchange, pesos for USD, right? Um, because the exchange rate changes a lot, quite a lot. So in other cases, Mexico City has a multicultural space. Um, it's a movie theater, right? And they take Bitcoin payments. And there's the Bitcoin Embassy Bar also in Mexico City. So it's getting there, we're getting there. The only thing is, having all those people come to me, having like 120 million people come to me and say, "Hey, Dan, how do we use this thing, man?" I'll be giving so many consultations. I'll be living off. I'll be living. I'll be living off of that for 3 times my life or something. Um. So yeah. What does the law say? Well, um, the use of cryptocurrencies is not prohibited, right? It's not banned in any way. Um. So why? I mean, it's crypto, man. It's cryptocurrencies. Satoshi made it for to for us to keep our money, like decentralized money. Like, why would you want to rely on a bank when they're unreliable? Um, you know. So instead of going with countries, or siding with countries like France, the U.S., Canada, Australia, um, we're in, we're on the side, where with countries like China, Bangladesh, Bolivia, Ecuador, that have established that cryptocurrencies have, you know, they must not exist in the financial system. Uh, and and which is kind of stupid, right? Because Agustin Carstens, he used to be the head of the Mexican Central Bank, and then he went to work for the Bank of the International Settlements. He's the head of the chief of the Bank of International Settlements, um, who recently said that the banks must come up with their own cryptocurrency. That that guy is like flip floppy, and what I mean by that is that he said when he was head of the Mexican Central Bank, he said that um, we should allow cryptocurrencies, and then he just switched sides and said, "Oh, we don't want them." That guy reminds me of like if you ever seen Austin Powers, that guy reminds me of Fat Bastard. Um, you just have to kind of look for Google search Agustin Carstens, and he'll kind of like look like Fat Bastard to you, probably too. So yeah, let's just move on. So the CEO of Kraken has said that Tether has nothing to do with the price of Bitcoin going up. I don't know, man. That's what they usually do, right? Like they print out Tether and then they buy Bitcoin with it. I wish I could print out Tether too and buy Bitcoin with it, but I can't. Um, so do you know how much Bitcoin I'll be buying? Like how the price would probably already be like at 2 million. Um, so he said that it's just like growth. Um, in an interview with TD Ameritrade, um, the CEO of Kraken just flat out said that Tether has nothing to do with the price of Bitcoin going up. Um, so yeah, it says TD Ameritrade interviewed Kraken's Jesse Powell over concerns about large amounts of Tether coming into the market. Tether influx usually indicates a fiat entering Bitcoin market, right? So, and I quote, The latest surge in Bitcoin has been accompanied by big volume in Tether. Watch as Kraken CEO Jess Powell details to OJ Renick why the controversy over the stablecoin is much ado about nothing. Um, and this was a tweet by TD Ameritrade done on July 1st, 2019, which was yesterday. Um, so Jesse Powell has been vocal in his condemnation of New York Attorney General's misplaced recent accusations around Tether and Bitfinex. Given the latest surge in USDT being created, he asked he was asked if he could reassure crypto cynics as to Tether's legitimacy. Obviously, Powell replied he has no inside knowledge of what is happening inside Tether. However, he did confirm that a growth in Tether supply does usually coincide with a growth in US dollars flowing into Bitcoin. When new Tether is printed 99% of the time, it constitutes a massive influx of US dollars flooding into exchanges. Then it goes to say Tether's not pumping the Bitcoin price. The interviewer then raised concerns that certain participants knowing in advance about the creation of new Tether, could they potentially use this knowledge to artificially inflate prices? Again, Powell reiterated that the printing of Tether is reflective of new dollars coming into the system. It is not artificial inflation of the price of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin price goes up 10% in a day, it is because exchanges are onboarding 50 to 100,000 new users per day. The boost is down to resurgent media attention and new users, not Tether, he argues. Um, would Kraken delist Tether? So finally, Powell discussed calls to delist Tether and whether the NYAG could influence this. Firstly, Powell pointed out that New York Attorney General's has no jurisdiction over Kraken. However, Kraken consistently monitors all assets it lists, and if something turns out to be a scam, then it will be delisted. As of right now, Tether does not fall into this category. So yeah, they won't delist it, and um he denies that. Um, and that's something that a lot of people have been, saying that whenever Tether is printed, it usually drives the Bitcoin price. They buy Bitcoin with it. So yeah, um, Blockstream debuts liquid swap tool for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Um, so this was done today. This article was written today. Blockstream debuts liquid. So an industry pioneer is cutting edge Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Blockstream has announced a new tool which allows users to execute atomic swaps on the Liquid network for any issued crypto asset. Liquid sidechain platform growing. The firm aims to bring Bitcoin and crypto to the masses by developing new user-friendly tools to facilitate the transfer of digital assets. In October last year, Blockstream launched its Liquid network, which was touted as the world's first production Bitcoin sidechain, according to blurb on the company blog. So the Liquid network provides fast, secure, confidential transactions to addresses um, to address the needs of exchanges, brokers, and markets and financial institutions around the world. So it adds that through Liquid's issued asset feature, members can tokenize fiat currency, securities, or even other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin enters the Liquid network through a peg-in process where BTC is locked on the main chain, and an equal amount of liquid Bitcoin LBTC is issued on the network. Um, in May, Blockstream revealed its new liquid securities platform, a user-friendly solution for businesses issuing security tokens on the Liquid network. So, major exchanges such as BitMEX are currently looking into using Liquid sidechain technology to reduce its impact on the Bitcoin mempool, and reduce transaction fees, as reported by a Bitcoinist last month. According to Forbes, Japan is also keen on using technology to streamline the entire blockchain transfer procedure. The Canadian blockchain infrastructure startup has taken the platform a step further this week with the announcement of Liquid Swap Tool. So, and I quote, "We're excited to announce the Liquid Swap Tool. This new tool allows users to execute atomic swaps on the Liquid network for any issued asset such as LBTC, tokenized fiat, crypto assets, attested assets, and more." And then it goes on to say, we're excited. Oh, I can't see what it says. It says attested assets and more GUI and CLI tool are now available. And then it says Blockstream, at Blockstream. It says users need to be running Liquid before they set up a node, which can accept connections from the swap tool. The move is another step towards increasing the efficiency and decreasing the cost of sending and receiving Bitcoin and other crypto assets. There were few there are very few other details on the new tool available on the company's website, aside from the installation instructions for Mac, Windows, and Linux. Blockstream CEO Adam Back, who was responsible for creating Hashcash and and cited in the Bitcoin white paper, spoke at a seminar on financial innovation at the Group of 20 meeting, which is the G20 in Fukuoka, Japan, last month. He said that it was challenging to even keep up with the pace of new things that are being developed before adding. And I quote: "It strikes me that there are still major discoveries about the implications of tech being found. So we're still early stages for what can be built. So I think is that it does provide a sort of programming model for electronic cash and surprising the number of things you can build on layers above it that retain interesting properties of what's beneath." So yeah, man, like a lot of people don't like Blockstream, but I think they're doing a lot of good things for the space. I like, you know, I like that they're doing the lightning swaps. I mean the atomic swaps, and um, they're working on new scaling solutions for Bitcoin, right? A lot of people don't trust them, but that's because I mean, oh, it's a company. Who cares, dude? Who cares? I mean, I've heard about a lot of stupid arguments about Blockstream. Um, Negative arguments by that. Um, so why does Samson Mao, which I've interviewed by the way, uh, why does Samson Mao when he goes to like a Bitcoin conference, why doesn't he wear a Bitcoin T-shirt and he wears a Blockstream T-shirt? Like all those kinds of stupid arguments, man. Like, why do you think he works for a company, right? He does have like Bitcoin T-shirts, but when he's going to a conference, like he's going as a professional, right? He's gonna go represent the company he works for. It's like asking an employee at McDonald's, like, why don't you wear like something like a regular T-shirt? Why do you have to go with your McDonald's uniform? Or what do you think, dude? It's like a restaurant convention, and I'm sure that the McDonald's people like are gonna go representing the company that they work for. Just saying, right? Like all these dumbass arguments that Blockstream controls Bitcoin. No, dude, no, and that um the developers work for Blockstream, and that the Bitcoin Core developers work for Blockstream. No, 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 no. There were a few that do work for Blockstream. That's because they need a job, right? Can you eat as a volunteer? If you do volunteer work, are you gonna be able to eat and feed your family? No, right? You have to work for somebody. So he worked on Blockstream. He already left, right? He worked on Blockstream. Um, but that's his day job, right? Like he left Blockstream to focus on Bitcoin. So Another one is like Luke Dash Jr. Luke Dash is a private contractor for Blockstream. He can work on Bitcoin all he wants on his free time, but when he's getting getting paid to do some sort of like contract for Blockstream, he's gonna be working for Blockstream. Simple. So Bitcoin set for massive growth as new features new futures platform enters the market, right? So there's another platform for futures entering the market, and apparently there was one that I signed up for. It's called Bybit. Again, if you don't know what you're doing, don't trade. If you want to learn to trade, we have a course on justlearnbitcoin.com, and you get 10% off. I'm gonna like I'm gonna leave it running, until the end of the day, the 10% off discount code, and then um, you sign up for that, and our partner is gonna teach you how to trade. He's a professional trader. So Binance RSX to offer Bitcoin futures. Legal hurdles remain for retail. Um, Bitcoin futures are eyeing the potential of massive institutional investment, uh, boosting Q3 as Binance, RSX, and Backed get ready to launch their own Bitcoin derivative platforms. Binance, as BTC comes off the record breaking trading volumes and the last price settles below $10,000 derivatives, clearinghouse RSX and cryptocurrency exchange Binance have both announced plans for futures trading. The companies follow last week's news that Ledger X had received permission to offer futures from US regulators, something RSX will now also be able to do. Um, CEO Thomas Chippas commented in an accompanying blog post. So, and I quote, RSX is unique in that for our digital asset market, we have divided the trading and settlement functions using traditional DCM, exchange, and DCO clearing models. This reflects the structure that institutional investors expect from other asset classes and will help drive these markets towards greater relevance and accessibility. RSX gained approval from U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission (CFTC) to offer physically delivered futures in which participants take the delivery of actual Bitcoin rather than the cash equivalent. So that is going to make the price go up, obviously, because there's more institutional investors, there's more people hearing about it. It gives legitimacy to the space, and it's to the moon from here, right? I was gonna make a trade. Um, Good thing I didn't do it because it's moving like crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna address something about um, the B cashers. I mean the B cashers, the XRP army, and about um, the BSV fanatics. Um, well, well. The XRP army, like they go off on a rant because they don't really understand what is going on. Like they think that this coin that's not even a real cryptocurrency, it was a pre-mine, it's gonna make them rich. It could, right? It could, but right now Um, I don't see anyone, adopting it. Um, is there an established Mexican crypto market? Asked Clint. Well, we have Bitso, we have CuboBit, and then we have Bolavit. There are exchanges, and then there was one where you could go like physically. It was a brick and mortar one where you could go and buy and do your trading there. Um, Aside from just from Bitcoin being based in Mexico, um, there's like I mentioned, the Bitcoin embassy. Um, there's um, like a cinema. There's like some pizza shops and whatever that they accept Bitcoin and stuff and cryptocurrencies. Um, but usually, like people are like, "What is that?" Or they don't know what it is, or they're afraid of it, or uh, you know, um, they need to come to me. I will give 120 plus million people like consultations for zero point zero 0.01 Bitcoin, and yeah. um, so yeah, I was going like the XRP army. Like I don't know if the coins are gonna make them rich, right? The thing is this: I don't see any adoption from banks, going to like XRapid or Bitcoin or Ripple for settling international payments or payments between the banks. They're perfectly happy with the Swift system that they have, right? And then they make up stupid arguments like, well, Ripple is more decentralized than Bitcoin. How the hell do you know, explain to me? Somebody explain to me, please. Like, how is it more decentralized than Bitcoin when it was a pre-mine? Do you know what I mean? You cannot mine XRP. It was all pre-mined. How the hell is that being more decentralized? And then on top of that, you have to pay to own a wallet. Like you have to like I think at some point you have to buy like 100 tokens, and then you have to okay, you would buy 200 tokens, and then you would deposit the 200 tokens, and you could only move 100 tokens because you had to pay 100 tokens for the wallet. Now I think they reduced it to like 20. So if you buy 40 and you put it in your wallet, you're gonna have to pay 20 tokens um to be able to use the damn wallet. The same thing with Stellar Lumens. It used to be 100, and then they reduced it to like 20 tokens or something. Why? Why does it work the same way? Well, because Jed McCaleb, who uh, made the Mount Gox exchange, also created Ripple, and then he went on to um, create Stellar Lumens, and they were both pre-mined. You cannot mine any of them. So somebody please explain to me how it is more decentralized. And then the same thing goes for the BSV people, the Bitcoin shit version people. Um, they believe the word of a man that we all know is not Satoshi. He lied. He's been in prison for perjury or for contempt of court. In like I think that happened in like 2004. He went to jail for contempt of court. He was about to go to jail or pay a fine for that for the same thing. You know, a couple months from now. Like a month ago. Um, So, and it's like my buddy Luke said. If you know, if you guys know, just for motivation, right? Um, somebody in 2016, 2015, 2016, somebody got bribed. Was it Gavin Anderson that said, "Oh yeah, man, like Craig, right? It's Satoshi, he's the man that I spoke to over the email." How the fudge are you gonna know that? Explain to me. To me, when somebody writes me something like a like an email, and then they claim to be somebody else, I'm not hearing their voice. So how? I mean, I maybe they have like the same kind of like writing, but like most people like write differently, right? Some people have like certain words that they use. Some people express themselves um differently. So how explain to me how would you know that that's the man you communicated with over email? Somebody got bribed. They did it behind closed doors. I never trusted that shit. There were no cameras allowed because because the guy said, I changed my mind. I'm not gonna prove anything. You're never gonna hear from me again. I quit. He rage quit, and then he just vanished. And then he came back. Why did he come back? Well, because he had problems with the Australian tax authority, and he needed money to. That's what I think. He needed money, right? So that when you do an interview for like a TV station, you usually get paid for it. You know. So the VSB people, they're hanging on the word of a man that is known to be a liar. I saw a video from a guy saying that um, Bitcoin is the protocol, which it is, but the real Bitcoin, the coin, was VSB. No, because according to him, BTC, he calls it Bitcoin Core. It's not called Bitcoin Core. It's called Bitcoin. It's a scam. How is it a scam according to him? Well, because apparently Bitcoin doesn't work. Like BTC doesn't work according to this guy. Um, I don't know about you, dude, but I keep I use Bitcoin and it works. Trust me. I even tweeted it out. I sent out like less than 1,000 satoshis for less, for about one satoshi per byte, and I got it within 5 hours. It works. Yeah, it's gonna cost me a lot more to send that coin, send those satoshis out into my wallet. I don't care. It works. I got it within 5 hours. One satoshi per byte. If anybody needs proof, I have the transaction somewhere. It's in the blockchain. You can check. Um. So then this guy went on to call my friend Luke um a fraud and an idiot. No, man, you don't do that to the people I know. Like you don't talk like that to my friends, right? Luke's a friend of mine, and he gave you the chance to go on his show on his channel and explain, and you turned it down. Um, he never mentioned anybody by name because he made a video and he said the VSV fanatics, just like I did. I never mentioned any name, right? He never mentioned a name. He was just saying the VSV fanatics. And this guy took it personally, like an insult. And I mean, I know the guy because the guy used to go on my old channel and spread his FUD and his crap. And um, yeah, and it's like Luke said, right? Like this guy, like he's a little bit too emotional. Um, Maybe he shouldn't be in cryptocurrencies. And then there was this other woman. I'm assuming it was a woman because you never know, right? You don't trust verify. Um, who mentioned to me, "Hey Dan, I'm out of cryptocurrencies. I'm going back into like you know uh, precious metals. Um, I'm out. Bitcoin is dead, and I'm out." Well, she turned out to be a B casher because apparently, according to her, uh, Bitcoin doesn't work. The Lightning Network is not a scaling solution, according to this other guy too. The Lightning Network works. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay to open a channel, but then you can just withdraw your Bitcoin once you close it. It's not gonna be held up forever. So there's that. And then um, she's complaining that recently, right? Like she told me she left, she sold all her cryptos and her Bitcoin and her Litecoin or whatever the hell else she had. She sold it all and she went back into precious metals, right? According to her. And then, recently I saw a comment on somebody's channel that said that she had to wait 45 minutes for a Bitcoin transaction because it was broken. Bitcoin, you can't do that with Bitcoin because it's broken. Oh shit, it's broken. I waited 5 hours and I have no problem with it. Why? Because I hodl it. Ask me how many times I've sold Bitcoin. Seriously, none. Well, I did a demonstration when for the sake of the demonstration. There was a guy that said that you couldn't uh, sell Bitcoin back. That they wouldn't give you the money because you're gonna lose the money. Like a guy in Mexico, like I just mentioned. Like some, people here are afraid. They don't know what Bitcoin is. They don't know what cryptocurrencies are. They think they're gonna lose their money. They think it's gonna be stolen. They think it's gonna be cyber attacked, and they're gonna lose their money. Well, you could if you leave it on an exchange. But if you get a Trezor, if you get a Ledger, um, if you get a cold card, um, your Bitcoin is safe. Assuming you don't give your private key to like somebody randomly, right? Your Bitcoins are safe. I have both a Ledger and a Trezor, and I like one more than the other one. Although one of them has a nice feature that I like, but the other one doesn't have it. Doesn't matter. They do work, right? They're both used for the same purpose. Like I mentioned, the Ledger has two features, or one feature less and one feature that I like, and the Trezor has one feature less. But other than that, they both work. Which one do I prefer? Um, the Trezor. You could sign with a Trezor. In the Ledger, you used to be able to sign with the Ledger Nano S, sort of. Because when I claimed my airdrop for Rhodium, um, I had to do it a different way because the app signature feature didn't work, and then they I had to try it again, and then it worked. But I had to copy the whole entire message. Right now, with the new software, with the Ledger Live, they don't let you sign. They don't let you sign a message. So with the Trezor, you can. With the Ledger, they have a nice little feature, but that's secondary, right? It's not the main purpose of a hardware wallet. That's just a little extra feature that they have, secondary, where they tell you, um, like your gains for the week, for the month, and for the year on your crypto holdings. So that's a nice feature, but I don't really need it, right? Like if you're gonna use a basic hardware wallet, go for the Trezor. Um, but yeah, I mean, people get triggered, and if you know, people just say stupid things out of like their own butthole because they don't understand what it is. Like they think that Blockstream is taking over Bitcoin. They think that all the developers in Bitcoin work for Blockstream, which is not true. They're volunteers, and that's why they wanted to um, fork Bcash because according to them, they wanted to fire the Bitcoin Core developers, and those are called Bitcoin Core, right? Bitcoin is not called Bitcoin Core; it's called Bitcoin BTC or XBT, depending on you when XBT. It's like XAU, like silver and gold, and XAG and you know. Um, but yeah, like if you get triggered and you get emotional right away, get out of cryptocurrencies altogether. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Before I do go, we have like 15% off on the merchandise store until the end of July. The discount code is listed in the description. It's 15. It's 15% off. It says for July 15th. The 10% discount until the end of June for the trading packages. I'm gonna leave it until midnight, and then I'll remove it. And yeah, get a bottle. Bottle wallet, Bottle.li. The links in the description. Tippin.me if you want to send a tip. Um, Also my On-Chain BECH32 SegWit address. If you don't have a Trezor yet, you can get one. The links below. And go to justlearnbitcoin.com, schedule a consultation if you need one. We have like packages um, already there, and we're working on some more packages. So check those out. I'll see you guys next time. I'll be working on my podcast, which should be on iTunes and iOS. I mean iOS on Spotify soon. Um, and have a great afternoon, evening, morning, night, whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you guys next time. I am out.